Video 3, the concrete pour prep. In this one we're going to go from muck and mire to red carpet. And along the way we're going to see a little bit of digging, a little bit of dancing, and as an extra bonus, the first signs of me becoming a type 1 diabetic. So stay tuned, grab your popcorn, because this is going to be a good one. Boop, boop. Okay, little disclaimer. This is not the tried and tested way to build a concrete floor. This is a way, but definitely not the tried and tested. My dilemma is I started with one method of construction, then the plan changed because it's a self-build, and now I've had to adapt. So my biggest challenge at the moment is, how do I stop the concrete from flowing that way?
You're absolutely right, Tony. When we go to pour the concrete, what's to stop it flowing off the sides?
Don't worry, I have a plan. I'm going to dig down into this 804 stone, pour a shallow concrete foundation that I can then lay some solid 4-inch blocks on, and then line them up nice and neatly between the corner posts. And there was you thinking I had put no thought into this.
Lovely 4-inch blocks, but come on, mate, move it along.
I know, I wanted to rush this one too, but next step is a crucial one, and we need to get it right, or we'll be suffering. In the interest of moving things along, however, let's leave Tony adjusting the steel frame in the background. We'll skip all of this bit and go straight to this. This. And this is how we're going to keep the concrete nice and dry. So what do we got here? So 4-inch blocks on the outside, followed by a radon barrier, then a layer of 100mm insulation, then a damp-proof course, then some rebar, and then finally the concrete pour. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. Let's take it back about 4 or 5 steps. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Look at that. Level and level.
Oi, perfecto.
Right, well, we're not done yet, so let's keep it moving. Yeah, finally, my dreams were coming true. I was building my very own dream studio, something I'd always dreamed about in my dreams. All I had to do was level out the concrete on the left-hand side, figure out how to cover this radon pipe at the back. That's it. A little bit more concrete, a little bit more leveling. Finally, progress. Getting closer and closer to the actual dream in my head. Yeah. Sometimes I feel like I'm going crazy, that my body won't let me see my dreams come true. And then I remember, I'm just trying to build a dream. What's your dream? At the end of the day, we are our dreams forever and ever. Yeah, okay, enough of that. We still need to do the front foundation, and a complaint had been made by a member of my family on the state of the garden. But this was actually perfect timing because I needed to put in ducting to carry the services for this baby, so a tidy up was probably on the cards anyway. So after a little bit of digger bucket, jiggery pokery, I went straight to work. Took away the last of the flagstones, popped in a little land drain, although I didn't really install this correctly. You're supposed to bury it in gravel and then cover it in mud. If you cover it in mud, it's going to block up the holes. So, moved my foundation material a little closer and just flattened out the garden and began to move all the debris to one side. Services time! Finally laying the ducting that would carry electricity, water, internet, and possibly even heating pipes. That's the one on the right. Stuck in a little bit of a land drain as well, just whatever was left over. Watched the birds eating the beetles and the worms, and covered it all back in again. I don't think that land drain is going to do very much. It's going to be clogged up with mud. But not going to worry about that now. Main priority is concrete base prep. Concrete base prep. Concrete base prep. And just like that, we're back to laying the foundation for the 4-inch blocks at the front. I made a little investment in a rotarator. Huh? Rotavator. I got it on Amazon.de and just flattened out the garden over the following few days. Chapter 102, Radon Barrier. This stuff is expensive. I think it was about €450 a roll. But it was going to obviously act as a radon barrier. It was going to do as my damp-proof course as well. And these strips I'm cutting now were going to go under the 4-inch blocks and kind of wrap around them. As just as kind of an added protection. I mocked up the bricks and then cut out these little steel brackets at the side for kind of side purlins if you're using steel sheeting. So the steel sheeting would fix to the side purlins and the side purlins would fit onto those brackets. I'll be using a timber skeleton for the walls. Just laying out the bricks and figuring out the corners. Now you're probably going to have to avert your eyes for the next bit. As I was laying these bricks, it was becoming apparent that the concrete was going to sit at the top of these bricks. And as they stood, that height was going to restrict my headroom within the building. So I had to cut a sliver off each of the bricks. Can't remember what the detail was. I kind of don't want to remember what the measurement was. This was a bit of a nightmare, but had to be done. But before too long, I was in bricklaying mode.
Woo-ha!
Never done this before, so spent a little bit of time lining up the first one. And then it was freewheeling after that. Well, not exactly freewheeling, but I mix cement and lay my blocks, just working on my dream. To my untrained eye, this kind of looks professional. Let's cue some real music and watch the build unfold, because this bit is kind of tedious. Now, I'm not going to lie, this was tough work. You know, you do a full day's work and you're coming home to do work in the evening. It can take its toll, but there were signs of me becoming more tired more frequently and just not having the same stamina as I did before. Part of me was saying, okay, well, you know, I'm getting a little bit older now, you know, maybe this is par for the course. But there was a little underlying health condition manifesting in the background. That's right, boys and girls, my pancreas is failing right before my eyes, and there ain't nothing I can do about it. But it is still a little ways off before I actually fully realize what's going on. So stay tuned and see if you can spot those little red flags flapping around in the breeze as they pop up now and then. Who knows, we might even sing a little song about those little red flags. Little red flag, little red flag. Ow! Get out of here, you pesky red flag. Nothing's going to stop me from finishing this concrete prep. Except when the boss comes down and orders me to stop. Yes, almighty one. But never for too long. Next day I'm back at it. How we doing on time? 3 minutes left? I think we could do this in 3 minutes. Yeah. Yo, 3 minutes left. Not a second less. Yeah. Check again if you think I'm second best. Freeze frame before the concrete. I had to chase this and make it all neat. Yellow level balancing on my last block. Sometimes the concrete got into my socks. Think anybody else would stop the whole job. Just take them shoes off and throw them socks out. Not me. I was born differently. In a hospital like everybody else, but just slightly differently. Yeah, that's right. Tony O in the Unfinished Studio. Wrapping radon. Finishing corners. Leveling stuff. All day long, every day. But mainly in the evening time. All evening, baby. You want more? Whack, whack. Yeah, whack, whack, whack with my big yellow whacker. It's as heavy as sheep. Uh-oh, red flag. Whack, whack, whack with my big yellow whacker. This is heavy as beep. Okay, mister. What am I doing here? Let's just go back to a simple narrative. So the 804 stone, I'm just covering that with sand to stop any kind of perforations, any sharp bits going up through the radon, which is going to be laid next. The whacker is a real machine, that is what it's called, and it's just used to compress everything down. Very handy, very heavy, but very, very handy. Last little bit of leveling, got rid of the whacker, and it was red carpet time. Yay! You made it to the end of the video. Thanks for watching. If you like the video, why not give it a little thumbs up, or even better, subscribe. I'd really appreciate that. And all that's left here now is for the boss to inspect, and we're done and dusted. Until the next one. Why do I want to fill it with water? Cheerio. How do I get it up? Walk around.